Welcome into the Wake Up Sports Podcast, guys. Tonight it's going to be only us two, me and Wonderful here tonight. Boss isn't feeling well, and Dally won't be able to make it here tonight. Welcome in, guys. Let's get into it. I'm actually going to throw it over to Wonderful for our sponsors and some breaking news that actually just happened in esports.
Yes. Shout out to our sponsors, Jerky Pro. Get the best jerky in the business. Ton of good flavors. Use our code Wake Up Sports Podcast and get yourself the best jerky in the business. Get some W energy while you're at it. No crash. You perfect for long car rides or if you guys study for fall classes because college is starting up for fall classes. You get yourself some W energy with Wake Up Sports Podcast also. And then SeatGeek. You use our code for SeatGeek. Uh get get $20 off of your first purchase with our code Wake Up Sports. Also, Underdog Fantasy. Use our code Wake Up Sports Podcast and you can place a bet up to $100 and you can bet on anything. If a kid threw a rock at a tree, you can put a bet on it if he's going to miss or not. So, shout out to our sponsors. So, breaking news in the esports world. Uh, it's been a long time talking that LA Thieves has been talking to two of the best players in the game of getting Hydra, Scrap, Envoy, and keeping Ghosty on the team. It has been confirmed that an agreement has been set for Scrap and Envoy from Toronto Ultra. So, as of right now, LA Thieves has Scrap, Envoy, and Ghosty. They're still working on the deal with Hydra, but I think Hydra's gonna be coming because Scrap already said he wanted to play with Hydra from the beginning. I think we're gonna be just waiting a little longer for the Hydra, but the deal has been made. The agreement has been set. Toronto Ultra has gave up Scrap and Envoy to LA Thieves with Ghosty. Now, Peter, I want to ask you, how do you feel about this team that's possibly getting put together right now?
First of all, can you see me, guys? I'm just making
Yes.
sure. Okay.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a dangerous team, especially with Draza and basically that team, and then we have Optic Boys with Kenny and all those boys. It's like literally, if I'm being honest, it's literally going to be the those three teams.
I mean, we are looking at a team that this is a super team. This is literally a god team that just got put together. A lot of people did not expect Ghosty to do what he was doing. I mean, he started from Optic. Optic dropped him for Kenny,
Yeah,
and well, look at him now. He's got the
literally.
God Squad with him. So shout out to Nade Shot for making this happen. He basically is trying. He's breaking the bank, but you know what? In the Call of Duty League, you gotta break the bank if you want to make some money. And with this team together, they should be able to win every tournament. There's no doubt.
Like, bro, if they
It's shocking.
if they don't win a single tournament, that's going to be completely shocking. Like
Yep.
that's all right, guys. Let's get into the wide world of sports because we just had that breaking news that just came out of the air about not even 5 minutes ago. If you guys want the best breaking news in the game, hit that subscribe button. And guys, go follow us on TikTok if you guys want the best breaking news in esports and basically any other breaking news in sports. Go follow me myself. In the wide world of sports, the first thing is Boban Marjanovic. Big Boban is leaving the NBA and is going to Turkey powerhouse, FC Fenerbahce. I, dude, that dude can literally just sit in the paint because also overseas there is no 3 second of violation. So basically, all big men can basically just sit in the paint and just sit there and block and on rebound. I think that's a beautiful signing by them. In sad news, Adrian Wojnarowski has, better known as Woj, has officially retired from the ESPN and sports news in general. and will become the new general manager for his alma mater. He's basically going to be the general manager for St. Bonaventure's men's basketball team. Wonderful. How do you feel about that?
You know, I feel like the retirement is more. I don't want to like say that it is, but we can all notice that the ESPN has been getting very political lately, and I
Yeah.
think that's probably the main reason why he retired. He's done. He's over it. But also, he's been doing it for a long time. So you gotta give him his credit. I mean, congrats to him for retiring and then taking over as a main manager.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. And if you don't mind me asking, what is your favorite like Woj moment?
I would have to say the Woj bomb of when he announced that the NBA season was gonna get suspended.
Oh yes, because of COVID. You are
Yep,
correct. You are correct. Personally, my favorite Woj bomb is actually when he broke when LeBron was leaving Cleveland. You know what I
that
mean?
was another good one. That was a good one.
That was that was an insane one. In other news, the WNBA has gotten another expansion team, and they're going to Portland, Oregon. Personally, Portland does deserve to finally have a expansion team in Portland, and hopefully they do get a NBA team there soon. Because come on, the Supersonics were so good, and then they just all picked up and left and went to Oklahoma City.
For
That's
sure.
that's just crazy. In sad news, uh, Lucas Salvador, a professional bike racer, has officially passed away from sustaining injuries from uh, uh from his um from his most recent race in Hamburg, Germany, and in which some of the injuries were serious, and basically he had to RIP, but he fatally passed away from all his sustained injuries. Also, also the final news that I have for the wide world of sports is that Embiid has signed a massive extension, basically staying with the Sixers until 2020 and 2029 season. Personally, I think they overpaid him. I think he is. I personally, in my opinion, I think Embiid is completely overrated. How do you how do you feel about that? Oh, wonderful.
I mean, I don't think he's overrated per se. I would have to say that he's probably been the best for the 76ers in a while, in my opinion. I don't watch that much NBA, but I'm going to be.
That's good.
Um, but every single time that I watch the 76ers, it's always Embiid. Um, so I would have to say Embiid. I think he deserves the money for how long he's been there,
Hmm.
and the amount of points that he puts up and the amount of work that he puts in to move the 76ers into playoffs or into the finals. You know, you got to give him his credit even though I believe he does get hurt a lot.
Yes, he does.
He's the Anthony Davis of the 76ers. Like anything, I mean, he this man would get a broken toenail and he's out for 7 weeks.
You're not wrong about that one. You're not wrong about that one. All right. Getting
Oh,
into
I do have some other breaking news.
what's up?
I did forget to tell you about this. Um, that Memphis, South Florida, Tulane, and UTSA are all expected to leave the AAC and join the Pac-12 in
Wow.
2026 and 2027.
I mean, out of these teams that are coming to the Pac-12, who do you think is basically the best team to win that conference now?
You know,
I would have. I know it sounds crazy, but I think it might be Tulane.
I mean Tulane. I will have to say Tulane and Memphis are the best looking teams that are coming out of this. I mean, it's tough to say. I do think that Tulane does have the best chance of winning it. I mean, they almost upset. Well, I don't know if you can call it an upset, but when they almost beat Kansas State, they got a really bad call, and after that call, the quarterback for Tulane threw an interception. So I don't know if that would have. To me, that's an upset because it was a ranked team, and Tulane's not ranked.
Mm,
So, but I think Memphis has a very good shot. Also, Memphis is not a bad team. A lot of people don't expect Memphis a lot of times.
mhm.
So I think it's going to be between Memphis and Tulane to take that conference.
Okay. Okay. Um. All right, guys. Getting into some for my fellow Chicago Bears, going on the road to literally right down south to Indianapolis to battle the Indianapolis Colts this weekend, which is going to be, in my opinion, I wish I could have went to that game, but right now I don't have the funds to do it. But I would have 100% been at that game if I had the funds. But um but coming off the injury report for Friday, we are going to be without Zach Pickens, one of our defensive tackles. We're also going to be without again Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, get healthy and come back, bro. We need you. And then we also have our fullback out, but basically everybody else that was on the injury report will be active and will be playing this Sunday against Indianapolis. And in my opinion for this game, Caleb Caleb just needs to calm down. Um, get um get the run game going because listen, the Colts are actually one of the worst teams in the NFL in stopping the run. Also, on top of that, they are one of the worst team at getting pressured onto a quarterback. So if Caleb can just sit in that pocket, be smart, and not turn over the ball, I think we will win that game 100%. What's your what's your opinion on that?
I mean, this game has been a toss up for me. I mean, you got Anthony Richardson for the Colts, and he has not been playing that great. He's leading the league in interceptions right now, which I didn't really expect that much.
I
And I mean that the Bears defense should be able to stop that offense. Um, especially I think the Bears can win this game,
mhm.
but I also feel like it could end up being a very close game coming down to the leg of Carlos Santos. I think that's where it's going to come down to. But I do agree that the run game needs to get going, and Caleb just needs to relax. He doesn't have to run. If you got the running back there, just give it to Swift. I mean,
Mhm.
get Swift moving early, get the run game, get some pressure off of you, so it's not always on your back, and just try to take your time. Don't rush it, and I don't see why you guys can't beat the Colts.
Exactly. I'm just hoping. Let's go 2-1, and then on to the injury riddled Rams. But I can't get that far yet. We need to worry about Sunday first.
Yeah.
Um, but but basically after this Colts game, our schedule gets beyond easy. Like it's literally against the basically the bottom five teams in the league. It's basically um we have the Colts, then we have the Rams, and then we have I think it's the Panthers, and then we have like uh I know we have the Patriots in there, Cardinals in there, and then we also play the Jags in London. So I mean, probably our hardest game out of that whole stretch is probably the Jags, but
I
it's
would agree. Yeah.
around that. But all
The
right, guys.
Jags are kinda sneaky. They can be sneaky at times depending on how Trevor Lawrence wants to play. If
Mm,
Trevor Lawrence is hot, that team could go a long ways.
exactly. All right, guys. Getting into some MMA news with your main guru right here. Dana White has said after UFC Noche that next year the UFC will host an event. Finally, I think it's been about 12 to 15 years in South Africa. Finally, in South Africa, finally. So, So we'll see how that goes. I bet you 100% that Dricus Du Plessis will be on that card because that's literally their biggest fighter right now, and he's the middleweight champion. So, also in other news, Sugar Sean O'Malley has announced that he will basically on his podcast he will be taking he will be basically taking a hiatus and focusing on his health for 9 to 12 months. And also on top of that, in the beginning of his training of his camp, he tore his hip labrum. No wonder why he was not looking the same at all. I was after that fight, I was just like, there was something wrong with him 100%.
Yeah,
Like I
because
was like,
I've watched a couple fights of Sean O'Malley, and that's not how he acts when he's in a big fight. I mean, this man is just when he's like fully healthy, and you can tell that he's fully healthy, he's got every chance that he's got to win.
mm-hmm,
But you could just tell that he was not all there. You could tell from the movement he wasn't trying to really throw anything. You could just tell that
mm-hmm, exactly.
he wasn't there.
Um, in other news, John Jones has basically came out and said that he is leaning towards retirement after his fight against Stipe Miocic, which I think that's kind of a coward move because he is kind of hiding from Tom Aspinall, which Tom and himself have been calling out each other for a really long time. And personally, I think that's the one person that could possibly dethrone him. And he just wants to retire after a Stipe fight when Stipe Miocic hasn't fought in over 5 years.
I
He's
would
literally fighting a
I
dude
agree.
that hasn't fought in over 5 years. Like, what? He's gonna get absolutely mollywopped. This not even gonna be fair.
So I'm just gonna say it. Is John Jones becoming the Jake Paul of boxing?
Um, you
Now
really
the way the because the reason why I'm saying that is because he's fighting a boxer, another fighter that hasn't been in a
well,
fight, and you said it's been what 5 years?
yes, but also before John Jones got there, he was the greatest.
Well, no,
Uh,
that I understand that. I know that John Jones is the greatest at fighting, but like as of right now, like going against someone that's been out of the out of the time for 5 years, and then
mhm.
he's just kind of like, stepping away. I'm gonna be done. Kind of like a coward way of moving
Yes,
on.
exactly.
I feel like that's I use the Jake Paul because everyone says that Jake Paul doesn't fight any fighters or boxers that have actually been a boxer or that they've been like out of been like retired kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I said that. Not
Okay.
saying that I think John Jones is another Jake Paul. I know John Jones is a great fighter, one of the best to ever do it, but the way that he's acting, I feel like it's kind of like a Jake Paul move.
Exactly. Also, basically the final story of um of the MMA is basically Aljamain Sterling, who was supposed to fight literally next month, had to pull out of his fight at UFC 307 due to injury. Basically, he was on the ground during sparring, and basically you just see his arm pop, and it has been confirmed it is an arm injury, so he's gonna be out for a while. Now, getting into some results, which was basically about this past Saturday, it was UFC Noche. Uh, let me just say this real quick. In my predictions, I'm 27-19 overall. In this card, I went 4-4, which is which is okay. It's not the best, but I went even. Basically the first fight on the card, uh, Rosas Jr. did beat his opponent by unanimous decision. And personally, I'm actually shocked he didn't finish him. I'm very shocked he didn't finish him. It's just, I have a feeling he kind of kept it safe. Um, the next fight was Emmanuel Torres. He actually lost this fight. I'm against Nagage uh, uh, Bragas by knockout in the second round. But let me just say, Manuel is an absolute warrior because he got rocked. He got rocked at least 3 to 4 times in the first round and survived the first round, but then lost in the second of just pure exhaustion and basically getting rocked. And he basically got hit once or twice, and that basically finished the fight from there. Another dub that I had is Adamas beats Adeldana by unanimous decision, which that was an absolute war. Because let me just say, my girl that I chose, she split Deldana like literally right here, and literally she started bleeding in the second, and it was not stopping in the third because she got hit with another elbow, and it opened up even more. Like it was almost crazy. Um, then then another fight, Ronaldo Rodriguez did beat Osborne by unanimous decision, which it wasn't even close because he basically just controlled him the whole fight and basically just destroyed him anytime he tried to basically strike with him. Um, another one of my losses is Daniel Daniel Zabir lost to Espadon Arinkovic in an absolute war, and it was awarded fight of the night. And
Wait, which fight was that?
that was the Daniel uh Dan, Daniel Zabiri losing to Esteban
Oh,
Arinkovic.
okay. Okay.
Yes. Um in basically the people's main event, I had Diego Alapos, which he beat Brian Ortega by unanimous decision. And let me just say, dude, the dude is a monster and almost knocked out Brian Ortega in the first round, which Brian Ortega has basically never been knocked out in the UFC, but he was basically destroyed basically all 3 rounds. That was complete destruction. In the co-main event, we had Alexander Grasso facing Valentina Shevchenko, and my prediction was Alex Grasso. But new, and in the third fight, new Valentina Shevchenko has beat Alexander Grasso by unanimous decision and destroyed her all 5 rounds. And in the main event, we had Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Murad Dvalishvili. I had Sugar Sean winning that. But, and new, also another champion, Murad Dvalishvili beats Sugar Sean O'Malley all 5 rounds by unanimous decision, which is crazy. Getting into the card that's this weekend, and let me just say, this card will be starting earlier because it is in Paris, France. It's going to be Benoit Saint Denis versus Ricardo Miendos. And let me just say, I got Mankata winning this fight. I think he absolutely destroys him. And I think this is basically the long a long run that Benoit Saint Denis is trying to get back, but against Moicano, I think Moicano's way stronger. He's gonna basically just destroy him. In the co-main event, we have Brandon Allen fighting an absolute monster in Medvedev. I have Medvedev winning this fight. He's going to absolutely destroy him in all facets of the game. It's not even going to be close. I'm actually going with in this next fight. This is a featherweight fight. I have Will Agamos beating Barlowton. In the welterweight matchup, I have Brian Battles facing Kevin Jussies. He's also another Frenchman, but I have actually the American win this fight. He's gonna absolutely destroy him. And in my last two fights, I actually have Ivan Urseg in his debut beating Ion Kabovic or however you say his name, and then basically one of the first fights, but basically one of my final picks is that I have Umar Say beating Dongwon Jung in that fight, and we'll see how it goes. So, and now let's get into wonderful and some esports.
Yeah, we got quite a bit that's been happening. So, there are sources that are saying that LAG, which is Los Angeles Gorillas, are still in talks about selling their spot. And this is crazy. I don't think I ever mentioned how much it is to like actually get your team to play in the
Mm-hmm.
CDL. It's $25 million to even get a franchise team to compete.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't realize how much money it is. So LAG is still in talk about selling their spot, and this is and again we got another French organization. Gentlemates are looking to buy the LAG spot, and you know they are a French organization, and that the talk is that Hydra is going to LA Thieves, but what if the Gentlemates is gonna try to snag Hydra to play for the French team? I mean, I don't think. I mean, if you think about it, he's gonna have a ton of fans if he goes and plays for Gentlemates.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know what team you're gonna get just yet, would you rather try to go to LA Thieves knowing that you just got Scrap and Envoy and Ghosty over there, or do you go for being the hometown hero of France, basically?
Mm-hmm.
So, my opinion, I think he should go to LA Thieves. That's the
Same.
smart choice.
Same.
I mean, why? It's basically you. To sum it up, the easiest way for people to understand, it's like when DeAndre Hopkins was asking for a trade and he wants to win, and then out of all the options he went through, he went to the Titans. Like that's kind of what this is. Like we know how good Hopkins is. Hydra is one of the best in the game besides Scrap. If he doesn't go to LA Thieves, which we could at this point we don't know how they are, but LA Thieves is basically looking like the Kansas City Chiefs. That's how this is going right now. One of the best in the teams going in, and they're going to he's gonna end up going to like the Colts. I'm sorry to say that, but the Colts are not looking great. That's the easiest way to explain that. Um, so that's my point on it. What do you think, Peter? Do you think he should go to LA Thieves or should he go play for his hometown in France?
If I'm being honest, he should just go to LA Thieves because just just that team. Scrap, Envoy, Ghosty, and who's the last one?
It would be Hydra.
I
Hydra is the only one missing out of that group.
it's like
What's up, Tate? Good to see you, Tate.
what's up, Tate? Welcome in. Welcome. If you guys have any questions, thank you for everybody watching. But guys, if you guys have any questions on anything that's going on in sports, just ask us down in the comments and we will highlight your comment.
Yes, yes, yes. But again, I do agree. I think he should go to LA Thieves. I mean, sure, it would be cool that you are playing for your hometown back in France, and possibly we're going to be seeing uh LAN tournament. So they might be moving over to France. Also, you got the Miami team who's all Spanish over there. The Spanish team could be going over to play
Spain.
over there. I mean, there's a ton of options going on right now. Um, so
Mhm.
hopefully he doesn't choose the wrong decision because everyone wants him to go play with Scrap. That was the whole point of
But
this whole thing.
oh, personally, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes over.
I
Just
wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
because, listen, if I had the chance to play like for my like for my country, I would do the same.
I, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, if you don't get Hydra, it's a bummer. But again, there's other players you can get. I mean, Sender is another option.
I
Not
mean,
even Sender, and then they could also try to get Joe Deceives. He's still on a roster. Get Gwyn. Gwyn is still available. He was Rookie of the Year.
what about that one dude from the Surge? Abuza.
Abusa, I'll get into that. That's a little farther down.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on to that again. The CDL franchise spot to play of picking your team is $25 million, which is absolutely insane. I didn't realize it was that much. I thought it was at least like, you know, I could see 250,000. I feel like that's a normal kind of placement thing, but $25 million is crazy. I did not realize it was that much.
Mhm.
Boston Breach will use the EWC, which is the Esports World Cup team.
Oh,
That roster is still there. They're going to be playing the Black Ops 6 this year or next year because they failed to buy out the spot. They were not able to get out of the league, so they are going to be playing into this um, Black Ops 6.
hmm.
Um, Optic Dynasty versus Optic Texas will take
I
place on October 12th at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas for only $10.
I want to go so bad.
I
Like,
want to go also. You cannot give up a chance to see all the greats of Optic playing, and you get to see the new Optic team playing also. My main goal is just to meet Scump.
same.
I don't really. I mean, it would be cool to see Krim and all of them.
And also, uh, sorry to cut you off, but also my favorite like content creator. He is also with Optic, and 95% he will probably be there.
Oh, I guarantee it.
One person, and that is one person I've always wanted to meet in Zealander.
Zealand. Yep. Yep. I'm sure he's gonna be there. I feel like this could easily be. I don't think it's gonna be a sold out show.
Oh
It
no,
should.
it's gonna be sold
Well,
out.
it probably will actually. Now that I think about there are a lot of Texas fans. Texas supports Optic no matter what. I mean, look at how many Optic fans were at Champs. They sold out the whole building, and that's why everyone was complaining.
Well, get
So
your tickets faster.
yeah, exactly. Um, this is an interesting one too. Optic players were asked to take a pay cut of $100,000. This could cause the team to split because they just won champs and now they are being told to take less money. Um, this was my question that was going to ask the whole
Yeah,
panel, but not everyone could be here. What do
exactly.
you think this will help? Do you think this is going to help the COD team, or do you see a chance that someone leaves?
It basically just depends on their success, in my opinion, because it basically just depends on if they're gonna it, if they start out bad, I think they 100% split up. But if they finish the season and at least come runner up or possibly win it, I don't see them splitting.
I don't. I mean, the only person I can see wanting to split. I mean, no matter what, Shotzi's going to be on the team. No matter what, they're not going to lose him.
Exactly.
Dashy's basically built into this. Um, the only two people I could see leaving is Kenny or Pred. And the weird thing is with this pay cut thing is because they just worked on getting Pred last year. So
Oh
he
yeah.
just joined, and now he's being asked to take a pay cut, which is why I could see him
Mhm.
deciding to step away unless something happens. What if he does step away and LA Thieves has more money than Optic at this moment? Not many people realize that Pred could even be taken over for that Hydra spot.
I'm sorry, but
Pred is much cheaper than what Hydra is. I mean, there's so many options after with this pay cut that could happen. Um, I mean, even Kenny could go back. I mean, I'm sure Nade Shot would open hands for Kenny to return to this kind of a team. Moving on, Valorant star Ye will not be part of C9's active roster moving forward. It is unknown who will replace him at this time. Basically, they could not pay him anymore after making big spending on other players, and C9 is running out of money.
uh-oh. That's not good.
It's all this merging that they've been doing that that's throwing everything off. And when you think about this, this has definitely got to be one of the reasons why Hydra's not staying, in my opinion. But there is more to it with Cloud9 CEO. I do have what he tweeted on here. I'll get to that in a little bit, so that will open it up a little more for the COD team. But Gay from the Valorant Superstar, great player. If you get the chance to watch any Valorant tournaments and see his old plays, he is an amazing Valorant player. Um, but moving on, shocking news. Mike Ross, one of the best broadcasters for Call of Duty, is now a free agent due to the Microsoft layoffs.
Wait,
He-
which one is he?
So
Uh,
you know those videos that you see them driving the new Hummer EVs, and he's always talking to the players with a British accent.
no.
Yes, he was the one that, and that's the crazy thing. He was just awarded. He is an award-winning commentator for Call of Duty. I believe he won it last this East
I know who you're
Esports World
exactly
Cup.
talking about now. And
It honestly is sad to see that
Kurt
they cut
is one of my
him.
favorite. He's actually my favorite commentator.
Yeah, he does such a great job. I mean, he's done work with Jack Dunlap. If anyone doesn't know who that is, that's Courage JD, who is also part of LA Thieves. Well,
Yeah.
100 Thieves, not LA Thieves. LA Thieves is the COD team, but 100 Thieves, he's part of them. So it's an interesting. It is sad to see that. I wish that he did not get let go. Others got let go too. I didn't get their names, but I'm sad to see Mike Ross leave, and I hope that he does get to come back before Black Ops 6 starts.
Exactly. Because personally, this is gonna sound crazy, but if he's not on that commentary team, I'm gonna boycott.
A lot of people have been saying that also. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, man, you'll jump back. I think they'll have you back. Optic Methods reached out and said, "Hey, man, keep your head up high. More than likely, you are the best commentator for Call of Duty. I think they're going to be bringing him back for
Mhm.
the Black Ops 6 series. But
Okay.
as of right now, he is a free agent right now. Um, he could end up going to the Dead Ops, the Dead Ops commentator. That could happen. So moving on, we are finally getting into the roster mania updates. This is what everyone's been waiting for because roster mania is basically where all the trades and all the releases happen to see who's going to make the super teams and who is going to what teams next. Basically like finding out for like big trades for the NFL or like transfer portals in college to make that sum up for the people that don't really understand. But this is what Cloud9 CEO, his name is Jack, was talking about with Roster Mania with what he's going through. He tweeted out, "It's been a complex off season. I plan on fully keeping the roster together for next year, but the players have asked for changes. I'm doing my best to accommodate their asks while building a team of players who want to play together. I'm not looking for cash grab. I'm looking to spend. I'm not going to force players where they don't want to play. So my question for you is, Peter,
Mhm.
what do you think of this tweet that got sent out today? Do you think this is another big reason why Hydra is leaving? I
100%.
all because we already knew that he's been having problems with Kismet. Sib is gone, and it's just as of right now, it's just Kismet and Skies. That's all that's there right now. Um,
Oh, after this tweet, I 100% think like that's why.
I
100%.
do too. I mean, I don't think there's any amount of money that you're gonna get for Hydra keeping there. I think Hydra's just tired of losing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's the best one on the team, and no one every single time, either Kismet or Sib or Skies messes it up for him. He's just trying to move on, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
all. I think that's all it is. Is that it's just Hydra wanting to leave, and they're not going to be able to keep him, especially if Gentlemates is reaching out to Hydra, and you got LA Thieves trying to reach out to Hydra also. So moving on, I already went through this. We already have the Envoy and Scrap is already on LA Thieves and Ghosty, but the main reasons were Hydra and Scrap would like to team up together. The budget for 100 Thieves Super Team would be challenging, plus require multiple buyouts, and other deals can still happen, but they already locked in Envoy and Scrap, and Ghosty was already there from the get go. Even right after the Esports World Cup, they basically said Ghosty is staying. He is with us through and out. I think like the backup, like you like a reserve player. I think Joe Deceives is still on the team. I think they're gonna keep him in case something happens. But all we're waiting is for the confirmation of Hydra of where he's gonna go. Is he gonna go to Gentlemates, or are we just waiting for the sign that Hydra is going to LA Thieves, which we just talked about that LA Thieves is the right choice for him to go. Um, Other news is Vancouver Surge is no longer Seattle. Um, the likely roster for them is Abuza, Nasty, 04, Hixie, and Kremp. They are pushing pretty hard for Hixie. Hixie was on um, Toronto Ultra for a little bit. He was removed during not last season, but the season before. He did play with Scrap and Insight and all them, and they did drop him for performance issues. But he's not a bad player. I just think the performance issues is with that team. They didn't really need him. Um, it just wasn't working out. So we could see this is the surge team that we're looking at happening. Nasty was actually on LA Thieves, and so was Kremp. So Kremp and Nasty are looking like they're going to Vancouver Surge.
Nice.
Um, Gentlemates again trying to stop LA Thieves God Squad by pushing for Hydra and Scrap, but Scrap is gone. He's already on LA Thieves, so that doesn't matter anymore. Um, the reason why Gentlemates is trying to get Hydra is because he's a French player and would be going to play for a French organization, and it's just a chance for him to have a growing of huge fan base because he doesn't stream that often. A lot of people don't realize that he does not stream. He
Mhm.
just goes and plays tournaments. He started streaming not too long ago, but his fan base was blowing up already just even for him starting out as streaming because people like what he does. So that's really the only team that's really going for him is Gentlemates, and it's the only team that makes sense at the moment. Um, so moving on that, Atlanta FaZe is going to be keeping their roster. I know there's been talk that Celium was going to be let go. They're not. He's not going anywhere. They see the potential that what this team can do. They won the esports Call of Duty. and it's just this team is just really good, and I think. But we did see LA Thieves was able to stop them twice. So, but they did lose to them during the esports World Cup. So, um, Atlanta FaZe did. Atlanta FaZe Search and Destroy coach Tupac is a free agent. Sources are being said that LA Thieves has been reaching out since the release. A big move for the LA Thieves because you already got Envoy. Envoy is a great search and destroy player. We've seen him do it for Optic. Um, Scrap is also a good S&D player, and so is Ghosty. I mean, these three people are. I mean, Ghosty has the best comms in the league, and then you got Scrap coming in that's gonna be able to just clear house, be objective, and you got Envoy, who's also a great teammate and objective player. Um, Moving on from that one, this was talk that everyone from LA, not LA Thieves, Toronto Ultra was all free agencies. Now, they did this before of saying that all these guys are free agents, but they brought them back. They were not really actually dropped. So Kleenex and Insight are likely staying on Ultra, even though Ultra put them on free agency. But again, it doesn't mean that they were let go. I think they were just trying to figure out the potential roster that they can put together. And it sounds like what it is already. I don't like it. I don't see how this it's Insight Kleenex and the person that's supposed to replace Scrap is Beans from Boston Breach. Now
Mm.
there is a good side of Beans. Beans is a rogue. If Beans can snatch up 30 plus kills if he has to in
Hmm.
this game. It's not that he's a bad player. It's just it's just a weird position to put him in. I mean, they could have went on. I think Sib would have been a better option because Sib is also an objective player.
Hmm.
So they could have gotten Sib, but I guess maybe Sib was too much money or they were asking too much. I don't know. But Beans isn't that bad of a choice, but they need to get another player that's going to be able to work with Beans because you already got Beans and Insight that are both ARs at this point, and the teamwork right there just doesn't really make sense to me. So we'll see how it goes, but I don't. I think Ultra is going to have a terrible fall. Um, Boston Breach, they're going to keep their EWC roster, which was Snoopy, Purge, Cammy, and Awakening. Now, again, there could be possibilities of people moving because of money issues, but they did just come out with a video, like a documentary kind of thing about the situation, and it might be better than what we think it is. Um, what's up, Alone? Good to
What's
see
up,
you,
alone?
Alone. Um, a lot of people have been complaining about Snoopy that he hasn't been a great teammate, but he's a great player. He's a great player. There's no doubt about it. But Snoopy just has been having trouble with other teammates working with him. I could just at this point, I think Snoopy and Cammy are going to stay on this roster, and I think Purge and Awakening will get removed at some point. I think Sib might end up joining Boston Breach, which I think could work out great. Atlanta FaZe is staying as Simp, Abizi, Draza, and Celium. There's no reason to take that team away. After Gaming, obviously, is Dashy, Pred, Shotzi, and Kenny, but we don't know if this $100,000 pay cut is going to affect anything just yet. I don't think it will, but it could. I mean, the only person I could see that's gonna want to leave is Pred or Kenny because they just got Pred and now they're telling him to take a pay cut. Doesn't look very good on that part. And Kenny, I mean, he just got brought aboard on this team also, and these guys are already one COD champs. So why are you asking the COD champs to take a pay cut? I mean,
It,
it doesn't make sense. This team helped you. These two players helped you get this COD champs, and you're telling them to take $100,000 pay cut. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, but other than that, I really don't have any other esport news. Um, I do want to bring up my question about the Buffalo Bills real quick. I talked to Peter about it earlier. Um, we're gonna talk about Josh Allen real quick. We're gonna see. I want to know if people think that this will be a downfall year for Josh Allen. So we know Josh Allen usually gets 4,000 yards, passing yards, and 40 plus touchdowns total. Now, if his numbers go down in the passing yards, but his turnover ratio is way lower than what it usually is that a down year for him?
I mean, I I mean how I said it how I said it to you before. It it if his numbers are down but they're winning like a lot more and they make it further in the playoffs, that's kind of a successful year. But that's actually a down year for him.
Right. Like when you really think about it, yes, he's probably not going to get 4,000 yards this year, but the other thing is with this is that he's not turning the ball over while he's doing it and they're still winning the games. Um that's why I think it's not really a down year for him because everyone just gives him a bunch of crap because of his turnovers. So if he limits his turnovers and just keeps playing like he's playing right now, I don't think it's a down year for him. I think this is the better Josh Allen we're going to be seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
that was my only question on that. If anyone had anything to say about that, I
Yeah,
mean,
welcome to say it in the comments. But guys, we are going to get to our college pick'ems and NFL pick'ems, but we're actually going to get to our NFL college football pick'ems right now because I think there's a game that's about to start, and the first game that we're actually going to predict is Illinois versus Nebraska. The ranked game tonight on Fox. It's actually starting in about 6 minutes if you guys want to watch it. Wonderful. Who you got for that first game?
you know what? I'm going to go with Nebraska. I think Nebraska can take this one.
I think the same thing. I actually think Nebraska actually takes that game. Now let me get to a couple other games that are going on right now, and I can just start naming them off. Sorry guys for the technical difficulties. Trying to get this up. All right. This game is at basically 12 o'clock. Marshall versus Ohio State. Who you got?
You know, I've actually been seeing like interesting things about Marshall, but I'm still going to take Ohio State on this.
Same.
I
Same.
mean, I just don't see it.
Same. Like like Ohio State's too high powered. They're still trying to figure out the quarterback situation, but just that whole like that whole team is just so stacked in general. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Next game is USC versus Michigan, and this is going to be at 2:30 on CBS on Saturday.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not liking the way that Michigan's been playing. I'm taking
Me neither.
USC.
Same here. Same here. Same here. Because it's like we like Michigan. Their main problem is that running back or
Running back or they don't know who their
quarterback.
quarterback is.
Quarterback. Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
think the defense will show up, but if you don't have the quarterback to put the points on USC, there's no point.
Mm-hmm. Next game is Miami of Ohio versus Notre Dame. Who you got?
I'm going Notre Dame.
I'm going Notre Dame also, but I
I
actually think
think it's close.
it's going to be a lot closer than what people think because Notre Dame did lose three offensive linemen in last week's game against Purdue. Also, they lost two defensive linemen also from that game, which is but Alice got ND winning that game. Next game is Northern Illinois versus Buffalo. Who you got?
Give me Northern Illinois. I don't know much about Buffalo really, and I mean, I just think Northern Illinois is gonna take it.
Mm-hmm. And personally, the last time they were good was when they had Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
So, um, Basically the big game that's going on is North Carolina, NC State versus Clemson. Who you got?
I've been seeing people saying that this is an upset game, and it could easily be an upset game, but I'm going Clemson.
Same.
I'm gonna stick with Clemson.
Exactly. For this next game, which is both Iowa State because they're playing Arkansas State. There's no way Iowa State actually loses that game. So,
I got Iowa State.
Penn State versus Kent State. Penn State.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here's actually a very interesting game that's going to be happening on ABC at 3 o'clock Eastern is UCLA versus LSU. That's going to be a very interesting game. Who you got wonderful in that game?
Hold on, I messed up a little bit. Penn State was playing Kent State,
Yes.
or Penn. You said Penn State.
Yes, we both took Penn State.
Okay.
The next game is UCLA versus LSU.
That is an interesting game, but I'm gonna
LSU is very
I'm gonna go.
LSU.
LSU is questionable. You know what? I'm gonna take the. I might actually go UCLA on this one.
I'm actually taking LSU, but I actually think UCLA covers the spread.
That's a good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now this next game, I've been going back and forth. I don't know who to choose, but this next game is going to be interesting. Georgia Tech versus Louisville.
If Georgia Tech plays like they did the very first game of the season, I think they can take. I think they can beat Louisville. They had to have um, the same fire that they had in that first game to take to win, to make that upset.
Hmm.
So it is a tough one. It is a tough one, but I think Georgia Tech gets it.
I actually think Louisville wins it. You can write down those two. The next game is personally I actually think this might be the game of the week unless it's going to be Tennessee versus Oklahoma. But this is possibly like basically the runner-up game, and it's ranked Utah number 12 versus Oklahoma State 14, and Utah is actually traveling to Oklahoma State. Who do you actually think's winning that game?
I still think it's Utah. I think Utah has
Same.
the better defense.
Yes, and personally, strong defense is always going to hostile environments very well.
Yes.
So, next game is Vanderbilt versus Mizzou, Missouri.
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people say that there's a chance that Vanderbilt can win this.
No way.
I don't.
No,
Those people are
I,
crazy.
I don't see it at all. I
The
see.
zoo is winning that. Like, what
Yeah.
are we doing?
All right. This next game is going to be interesting too. Miami versus South Florida. Listen, South Florida actually kept up with Alabama for a really long time until that fourth quarter hit.
Yeah, South
But
Florida is a good team. That quarterback they have, I keep forgetting his name, but
Cam Ward.
no, South Florida.
Oh, uh, uh, Bowami Brown or whatever.
Yeah, he's not a bad quarterback. He's very mobile.
Yes, but personally, I'm taking Miami. I'm taking the Hurricanes to win this game.
Yeah, I'll go with Miami on this one also, but it I don't see South Florida beating them.
Next game is basically the primetime game of Tennessee versus Oklahoma. That's gonna be interesting, but I actually think Tennessee pulls it out and wins this game.
I do too. I was going with Tennessee on this one.
We're actually gonna skip over the Texas A&M game because that's gonna be a complete blowout. They're playing Bowling Green. Bowling Green. It's like what?
You're going with Bowling Green, you said?
No, I'm saying I'm skipping over that game because Texas A&M is going to blow out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Blah.
Then also I would put Old Miss over Georgia Southern. Texas and Archie Manning's going to absolutely destroy Louisiana Monroe. I think Archie Manning at least scores four touchdowns, 3 passing and 1 rushing in.
Wait, so after the Texas A&M game, what game were we on?
Ole Miss versus Georgia Southern.
I got Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is gonna get that one.
Ole Miss too. The next game is Louisiana Monroe versus Texas. Give me Texas.
Yeah.
And then basically the last game of the night is Kansas ranked Kansas State against BYU.
Kansas State.
And then we're probably going to do 2 more games and then we could move on to the NFL. And I think one of them is actually a decent one. It's hold on one sec. I'm pulling it up on my phone and sometimes my Wi-Fi likes to go stupid. And also to confirm, Stanford actually just scored against Syracuse. It is 7-0 Stanford.
Oh shoot.
And that game is on ESPN right now if you guys want to watch it.
Nice.
The game that I wanted to pull up was, hold on, where is it?
I think we should get this one out of the way. Rice versus Army.
Give me Rice.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the game. Where's that game at? I'm trying to find it. It's Colorado versus Baylor. Yeah, Colorado and Baylor. Who you got in that game?
So isn't Colorado dealing with like an issue with like one of the Sanders brothers?
Yes, he's actually out for a couple weeks because he had
shoulder surgery.
Yes, but in my opinion, I think Colorado absolutely.
I will go with Colorado also. I mean, if it was Shedeur, I think that would have been the biggest difference in that one.
100%. And also the final game of the night that we can possibly do is Iowa versus Minnesota.
For our boy Rocky, I'm going with Minnesota.
I'm going with Iowa. All right, guys, let's move on to some NFL and finish off tonight, and then we'll finish off with some hot takes. Basically the first game is my Chicago Bears against the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, hold on.
You're good. Take your time.
There we go. You said the Colts?
Colts versus Bears.
And you said you're picking the Colts.
No, I'm not. Are you crazy?
No.
Bears.
I will go with the Bears also. But I think this game could be a lot closer than we think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it comes down to a Santos kick.
Exactly. I mean, did you not see the spread? It's only -1.
Yeah.
It's -1, so it's gonna be close. Next game is Broncos Travs versus Bosses Buccaneers.
Baker's been playing really well. I think this is a Tampa Bay game.
Same here. Next game is actually the Packers and Malik Willis facing his former team in the Tennessee Titans.
Honestly, this is an interesting one for me. Because we did see that Malik Willis did not play a bad game last week.
No, he didn't.
I think if everything goes right, I think the Packers got it.
Same here. And also there is reports of Jordan Love actually possibly coming back this week too, which is not normal.
No, it's not. My take on that one was that he's going to be ready by like week 6.
Yeah, week 6, week 5. Okay. Next game is the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and Raheem Mostert is coming back this week against the Seattle Seahawks. Who you got in that game?
I mean, Seattle's been pretty on fire, but I mean, I don't have that
Oh,
much faith in Skylar Thompson just yet. I hadn't seen enough
yeah,
in him. He almost beat the Bills that one year, but
exactly.
I'm going with Seattle.
Same here. Give me the Seattle Sea Chickens. The next game is the LA Chargers versus Dallas Pittsburgh Steelers.
I will say this. If J.K. Dobbins has his way in this game again, give me the Chargers on this game.
I know, like I'm kind of
It is a toss up, but it depends on if they get Dobbins moving early. If they can't stop Dobbins, I think Chargers have a chance. But I don't know. Is Herbert playing?
They did say he did practice, but he was limited. And personally, I'm actually taking the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers.
Okay. If Easton Stick's playing, then yeah, it's Steelers. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No
uh,
shot.
possibly. Oof. All right. These next two games are possibly basically the two games of the week. Texans versus the Vikings.
You know, with everything going on, like we don't really know how soon because there's been reports also that Jordan Love might not be even coming back. I've heard a couple times that he might not be coming back.
No,
But the way that Sam Darnold is playing, I think the Vikings can take this one.
Rocky. I'm sorry for this, bro, but the Texans.
I'm going with you, Rocky. I am taking the Vikings on this one.
But listen, I just want to say this: the Texans are too high powered. That defensive line is going to absolutely destroy the Vikings. Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans.
I mean, I'm only saying that this could be a close, good game. I mean, we did even though the Vikings do own the Texan or the 49ers, nobody still expected what Sam Darnold did against against the 49ers defense.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm going with the Vikings. We don't know what Sam Darnold's going to be able to do in this game.
Exactly. Next game we got is Eagles and Saints. And this is
I
the
think
Eagles, and this is the Eagles going to New Orleans in that Superdome without AJ Brown again.
I'm taking the Saints. The Saints have just been too. I mean, they've just been scoring like crazy. If Kamara and Rashid is doing what they are
What's
doing
up,
right now,
Skull? You just missed it, boy. We
you
just made.
did. We're doing our picks.
Yep, yes.
I chose Minnesota winning against Iowa, and I have the Vikings beating the Texans, buddy.
Buddy, I'm sorry. I took the Texans and I took Iowa against Minnesota. Next game. Oh wait, I still even chose.
Wait,
Give me
what game was this again?
Eagles and Saints.
I got the Saints, man. If if Kamara keeps doing what he's doing, and Derek Carr keeps playing like he's playing, and Rashid Shaheed keeps doing what he's doing, I think they got this offense together, and that defense is not a bad defense for the Saints, and we saw that the Eagles secondary is pretty questionable. They are questionable.
You know what? Give me the Saints also. Give me the Saints.
I don't think they have enough to slow down Rashid.
All right, next game is Giants Browns.
It all depends on which Deshaun Watson we're gonna see, in my opinion.
Exactly. Exactly. But give me the Browns.
Yeah. I'm going just because of defense.
All right.
Unless, for some reason, Malik Neighbors has another great game like he did.
E-
I could see something.
Exactly. But next game is the Panthers and Raiders. Who you got?
Give me the Raiders, and we're gonna finally see Brock Bowers' first touchdown. And I think he gets over 100 yards.
That's what I need. That's what I actually need. Thank you. Also, give me the Raiders. Sorry, Panthers, but you guys need to fire your owner. That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the main problem. Actually, the game of the week in possibly in one of the best games all season. Ravens versus the Cowboys. Who you got in that game? I know. I've been going back and forth all week with this game. All week.
Did you say it's at the Cowboys or where's it at?
Let me check. The game is at the Cowboys.
I just have not liked seeing the way that the Ravens have been playing lately. They're 0-2.
That right side is terrible. I think Mike.
I think the Cowboys have this one. I think CD has the day.
Okay. Next game is the Lions and the Cardinals. Who you got?
This has been the big kind of toss up for me because the defense isn't there for the Cardinals, but the offense is there for the Cardinals. I think it depends on which, again, it depends on which Kyler Murray we're going to see in this game and how much James Conner plays. But we're going defensive side. I'm
Give me
going
the
with the
Lions.
Lions.
Give me the Lions all up. All right. Here is the injury-riddled game. 49ers and Rams. Who you got? You're like,
I honestly probably am not even going to watch this game.
Listen, the thing I'm doing, I'm working and then I'm having NFL Red Zone on my screen, so it's basically just gonna be flipping back and forth.
Give me the Rams. I think the Rams are going to get
What?
this one. Yes. I think the Rams are going to get it.
Give me the 49ers.
I think it's the Rams, man.
Give me the 49ers. All right. Sunday night football. Chiefs traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. But let me just say, a lot of players have said the most empty stadium has been Atlanta. Who you got in that game? Chiefs or Falcons?
I don't want to doubt Patrick Mahomes, but my only thing is that they got a beast of Bijan Robinson back there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what Kareem Hunt is going to do just yet, and we don't know what Carson Steele is going to do.
Kareem Hunt is not being elevated to the active roster yet.
Okay, yeah. So I think this. I mean, passing wise, I'm going to take the Falcons on this one, honestly. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close game, and it could come down to a field goal again.
Okay. With the defending Super Bowl champs, with that defense with Chris Jones and Nick Bolton and Travis Kelce and Rashid Rice.
Travis Kelce has not been showing up, brother.
Let me say this. Travis Kelce goes for 100 yards this game and scores a touchdown. Give me the Chiefs.
All right, I'll give you the Chiefs.
All right, guys, we have 2 Monday night games ended off before we get to hot takes. The first game of the night is Wonderful's Bills versus the Jags.
I do want to talk about this one because
yes, you can talk about it.
Because everyone knows that the Bills and Jacksonville game has always been a weird game to watch. For some weird reason, we don't really play that well. some weird reason, we just don't play that well. We saw what happened with the Cardinals with James Conner. They were able to run all over us. My thinking is if we can't stop Travis Etienne, we are going to lose. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to give up on my Bills. I think we still get the job done. But it's going to be close. It's going to be a close one.
Okay. In this game, give me the Bills, but Jags will cover the spread because the spread is -5 for the Bills. I think it comes down to also a field goal to win it.
Yeah.
And basically, the second Monday night game is going to be the Commanders versus Mitch's Bengals. Who you got in that game?
Again, it comes down to if they're going to be able to stop Brian Robinson. He's been having a great past 2 weeks of running all over teams so far. I am going to go with the Bengals in this one. But I think we finally get to see the spark of Luke McCaffrey in this game. I think we're going to get the spark.
Me personally, I also got the Bengals, but let me just say Jamar Chase goes off. He shows why he needs that contract. I think he goes for at least 100 yards and a touchdown. And guys, to close the show, shout out to Jerky Bro. If you guys want the best fire jerky in the game, use our promo code WeGo Sports Podcast. Also, if you guys want fire energy, especially if you're in college or just gaming, get some W Energy. Also, if you guys have not used SeatGeek, use our promo code WeGo Sports Podcast to get $20 off your first ever purchase. Whatever. What's the one we're missing?
Underdog.
Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, guys. If you guys like to bet and make some money, use our promo code WeGo Sports Podcast. And basically, I'll get money off that. And guys, basically now it's hot takes. Then we're gonna finish the show. So wonderful. What's your hot take for this weekend?
Let me think. You go first.
Okay, my hot take is that Travis Kelce Sunday night gets 100 yards and a touchdown. Also Monday with Jamar Chase, he also gets 100 yards and a touchdown. But in my Bears thing, I think Swift finally has a game where it's worthy and he has at least 100 scrimmage yards of passing and receiving. So 50 and 50, but also gets his first NFL touchdown with the Bears. Wonderful. Hot take.
This is where Josh Allen is going to put out a statement that he is ready to show people that he can be one of the best in the league. I think he goes for 300 and gets 3. He gets 4 touchdowns.
So 3 passing and 1 rushing, or 2 rushing and 2 passing?
3 passing, 1 rushing.
Okay.
And I think Shakur is going to have a day. And I think we're going to finally see Keon Coleman get over 100. I think Keon Coleman's going to be the one getting over 100 yards.
What?
I think Shakur is going to be the one getting those 3 touchdowns.
Not Dalton?
I
Wow.
don't think I think Dalton is going to be out there, but I think this game is going to be covered with Shakur and Keon Coleman.
Okay. Guys, first of all, I want to thank all our viewers that came in tonight and watched the show.
My bad. I got one more hot take.
You're good.
I don't know if anyone else would take this as a hot take. I think we see Brandon Aubrey break Justin Tucker's kick record.
Oh my.
Against the Ravens.
That's actually a pretty good hot take, in my opinion.
Why not have the 2 best? In my opinion, I think these 2 are the best kickers right now.
Yes.
I think Brandon Aubrey is actually better than Bucker at the moment, just for, you know, how far he's able to kick, how accurate he's always been with kicking. I
Exactly.
think this is where Brandon Aubrey is going to really show up and take kicks for kicks. I mean, this could be kicks for kicks for Justin Tucker and Brandon Aubrey.
That'd be hilarious.
I think it's going to come down to which kicker makes the most field goals.
Okay.
But give me
But
Brandon Aubrey breaking the record against the Ravens while Justin Tucker watches.
wow. Okay, guys. To close out the show, thank you for everybody coming in tonight. And guys,